Hey YouTube, today I'm making a video about the soil blocker and how useful it is. I wasn't actually going to make a video on it until I realized how helpful it has been for me with gardening this year. I went ahead and ordered one end of winter, and I wasn't actually going to use it that much, but I've decided to use it a lot more because number one, it helps with not having to have little containers to put my soil in. All I need is the tray, and these trays are a lot cheaper at the store to buy, and all I have to do is make my own little soil blocks and plant my seeds in them. This is perfect for vegetable seeds, fruit seeds, and even flowers. So all you need for this, which I love, is just soil. You can choose the type of soil that you want to use. I'm using this ProMix Premium Organic Vegetable and Herb Mix. I also bought a little bit of this that was on clearance, which is another type of potting soil that's just for that. It says it's good for vegetables and herbs, but I'm going to use this cheaper stuff for my flowers and things that I'm not going to be eating. Once you choose your soil, whichever type you go with, all you need to do is wet it. And I'm going to press on the soil here, and you can see as I press on the soil, there's quite a bit of water in there. So what you want is that type of consistency with this soil blocker, because the blocks will come out much neater and organized if you use enough water. If you don't use enough water, they can become crumbly and fall apart pretty easily. But what's amazing is if you use enough water and you do it right, these blocks will keep their form. I'm just going to go ahead and show you how it works here. And the one that I bought is like a steel version, so I feel like it's going to last a really long time. So it's a good investment. It was about $50, and I think it's going to last a really long time. It's got 8 cells, so you can make 8 blocks at a time. And see those little black things in there? It helps make the indentation for the seeds to go into. So this is the smallest indentation. It also comes with this longer indentation for deeper planting. I guess if you have a seed that needs to be buried a little bit deeper into the soil, you can use this attachment. And then they also have this block shaped or cube shaped one for planting bigger things like maybe garlic, because I did try planting garlic with just this simple little hole and it was very challenging. I got around it by using a pencil and digging a little deeper and putting the garlic cloves in there, but something like this would have worked better. To be honest, it's a bit of a hassle to actually take these pieces out, but it is doable. I have done it and it is doable. You have to take them out from the top end and then place them in. But when you're working with this, I just feel like it's easier to pick the one you use the very most and just work around it, but you can change the pieces. So once the pieces have been put in, they could just stay there. Kind of gather up enough of the soil so that I have enough that's going to go inside of the blocker, and then press down on it. When I press down on it, you can see at the top some of the water starts to kind of squeeze out, and that's okay. Just putting pressure on it till you get the blocker all the way down on the surface of the bucket or whatever container you're using, then you know it's filled. And then I have this handle here that I'm pressing on, but I also can wiggle it away and tip it sideways just to make sure that the blocks are filled. And you can see here, most of them are filled. That one on the left is not full all the way. And because I'm using my one hand for the camera, I'm going to put it down so I could get it fully filled up, and I'll come back. You can see now it's full, and I'm just going to place it onto my tray here. You can see here I'm just placing it onto the tray like that. And then you just use the handle to squeeze out the cells. So the pushing down all the way on the handle will push the cells out onto the surface of whatever you've got it on. So I'm going to just squeeze it. Again, it's usually with 2 hands, but I'm going to do it with 1 hand to show you. And then you just press quickly and pull up. And there you have it. The blocks are ready to go and to put seeds in it. So here they are blocked out here. There were a few misses and I just left those spaces blank. That just goes to show that even though you need the soil to be wet, if it's too wet, the blocks just kind of slip out of their spots. Once you get the hang of it, you'll get to feel what is too much soil and what is too much water. And it's just that in between that you need to get your blocks to come out perfectly. But in any case, I'm just going to go ahead and plant King of the North pepper. This is a type of pepper that grows well in zone 4, and I'm in zone 3-ish 4 So this apparently grows well in zone 3 or 4. And I learned my lesson last year not to grow peppers that might be better for a warmer zone, because they won't grow to full size, or they may not even grow at all because of the short growing season. So I'm going to plant these in here. I'm a little bit behind because it is May 22nd, I think, today. And I should have planted these at the beginning of May, but I'm still going to put them in these blocks and let them grow a little bit before I put them out in the true summer, which isn't supposed to come in my area until June 20th or after, which is when all danger of frost should be gone. So I'm just going to put these in each hole. So I'm planting 20, so we'll see how many actually come around. And for the last blocks here, I've got 10 spaces. I'm going to plant Bulgarian carrot pepper, which is another cold hardy pepper. This is a hot pepper, more like a chili pepper, but it grows well in zones 3 to 9. So I'm going to go ahead and plant these ones. And these are a nice heirloom. They're an ancient one from Bulgaria and only came around over to North America in maybe the 70s or 80s. So it's been around a very long time. So it's nice to have an heirloom seed that grows well in short grow seasons as well for hot peppers. So I'm going to go ahead and plant them and I'll come back. Now that I've got all my seeds in their little slots, I'm just going to go ahead and use the last of this wet soil and top off all these little holes and fill them in. So I'll come back when I'm done that. Just as I'm doing this, I'm reminded that it is important to make sure that this wet soil makes contact with the seed. So when putting these into their little slots, it's important to actually like press into it so that the soil actually makes contact with the seeds that you planted, just to fully fill it in. So here they are covered up, and then I'm just gonna cover them up with some saran wrap so that they have that kind of greenhouse effect. And I'm gonna try to put it in a sunny spot so that the seeds can germinate faster, but the weather's been kind of cool and gloomy lately, but I think sun is on the way the next week or so. So I'm just gonna put it by the window, and once it sprouts, it's going to grow nicely. And I'll go ahead and show you what it looks like when the plants are already fully grown, because this is one of the biggest benefits to having the soil blocker, is that the roots grow beautifully underneath and they're able to be planted easily, because certain pots, when you plant them, it disturbs their root system and then stunts their growth sometimes, or shocks them a little bit when they're planted, makes it a little bit slower for them to continue with their growing. So this soil blocker eliminates that because of the way that the block is already formed and won't disturb the root system. So here are some seedlings that are just growing through here. This is cilantro, and you can see as the root system is developing, it's not being bothered by this block. It's just growing all the way through, and as I keep watering it, the root system will get thicker and bigger. Here's a watermelon. These need to be watered. See, it's a little bit dry right now, but you can see the root system's coming through without any problems, and it won't disturb the roots when I go to plant it. So though watermelon is best planted directly, I went ahead and tried with some seedlings ahead of time just to see if I could get a head start on them. That's beets, that's spearmint, and that's a lone sunflower, which I'm going to go put outside very soon. And here you can see like this one is fully ready to be transplanted. These are tomato plants, and you can see here the root system was not bothered at all, and all the roots are just growing all through and around it. And now when I go to plant it, it's just going to go directly into the soil, and there's not any disturbing of the root system when I'm trying to like bang it out of its container. Like for example, these marigolds that I have growing here, you can see that, you know, it's normal. You can see here that the packaging, it does have a hole in the bottom for the roots to grow out of, but you know that there's no way that you can't not disturb these marigolds to pull them out and plant them. So it's just helping the plant by avoiding that step. And again, it's, to me, it's going to pay for itself in the long run, because then I don't have to go recycling these or buying them, washing them, disinfecting them every year, and all that other stuff. I'm just starting off with fresh blocks every single year, and then all I have to do is take the tomato plant and stick it into the ground. I planted these earlier and they had no problems. They weren't even wilty, like kind of like the way that sometimes plants are when you disturb the roots a little bit. They get a little bit stressed out sometimes. These ones weren't stressed out at all. They just went directly in and they're growing fine. So that is my review on the soil blocker. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comment section. I'm pretty new to using it, but it's a very simple tool for, I think it's going to save me tons of space when it comes to pots and all that stuff. And I think it's actually very helpful for the plants too. So it's a win-win all around. So give it a try if you want, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. God bless you.